Good Sunday afternoon. How's everybody doing? This is a TFG Sports Media breaking news report. I am your sports guy, Kendrick. Just a few minutes ago, probably about 30 minutes ago, my phone started blowing up, started getting them alerts, and it's happened. Everybody was anticipating it. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it has happened. The Brooklyn Nets have traded or are trading. I think they got to go through some hoops. Uh, but they are trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks. This was first reported by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and the Athletics' Shams Charania. Again, breaking news coming from TFG Sports Media, breaking sports news. Nets Kyrie Irving, after 4 seasons in Brooklyn, is being traded to the Dallas Mavericks for some picks. We'll talk about that here in just a second. I want to see if anybody is going to jump in. But again, we knew something was going down when on Friday, Nets Kyrie Irving requested that he wanted to be traded. He did not play last night. The Nets decided to sit him. He was reportedly having some sort of lower leg issue, calf issue. But I think the Nets were really trying to hold him out anyway. Then the report started swirling that far as teams that were interested, it was the Lakers, it was the Mavs, and I believe it was the Clippers were the main ones that were being reported that would be interested if the Nets were looking to trade Irving. And lo and behold, the Mavericks rolled the dice with their owner Mark Cuban, and they said, "Yep, let's get it done." You know, the Mavericks actually played last night. They lost to the Warriors, but they didn't have Luka Doncic. He's out, I think, with a foot injury or ankle injury as well, and they've been needing to get him a little bit of help on the scoring end. So uh, I don't know how this trade is going to look, but right now it's looking like the Mavs looks like they've improved themselves, especially in the West. Now, here's the deal again. If you're just dropping in, breaking news, the Brooklyn Nets are trading guard Kyrie Irving to the Mavericks, and here are the players involved. The Mavericks will be sending Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks to the Nets. And Spencer Dinwiddie is basically is going back to where he started. Dinwiddie was with the Nets a few years back. So again, the Nets will receive from the Mavericks Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks. Again, this was being reported by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski and the Athletic Shams Charania. Charania also reports that the Nets are going to receive a 2027 second-round pick, a 2029 second-round pick, and an unprotected 2029 first-round pick from the Mavs. The Mavs will also receive Markieff Morris after his 1 season in Brooklyn. So technically, basically, the Nets are sending Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris to the Mavs for a bunch of draft picks. Mark Cuban is always known to kind of be try to roll the dice, but the Mavericks have always not been a big player when it comes to free agency and even pulling off big trades like this. I think this is one of the bigger trades that I can remember that the Mavericks have done. I know they've had a few others, but as far as big name, I think well, you go way back to the Steve Nash. That was one that they pulled off too. I forgot about that. But to get Kyrie Irving, that's definitely going to improve that team. You got Jason Kidd, who is a point guard, a Hall of Fame point guard. To add to that, Irving is probably going to be, that relationship is probably going to be strong. I just thought it was time. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really think that Irving was going to be traded. I didn't think the Nets were going to be able to get anything for him. I felt like he was going to walk this summer, and the Nets were going to be left with the empty bag. So kudos to the Nets to making this happen. For making this happen, we all know the backstory. It started back in late October when Kyrie posted that link on his social media page to a alleged movie that was anti-Semitic, and he was suspended by the organization, not by the NBA. for 8 games, I believe. He had to jump through all these hoops when it comes to being reinstated back to the team, that they requirements that they wanted, and all that. So I think at that point, the relationship was pretty much a wrap, you know, then. Now, here's something that Yahoo Sports reported as well. Writer for Yahoo Sports, Chris Haynes, reported this. He said the negotiations broke down. You know, Kyrie wanted an extension. They were negotiating. The negotiations broke down. And according to Chris Haynes with Yahoo Sports, he says the reason why the negotiations broke down was because the Brooklyn Nets presented an offer to Kyrie that was tied to the team winning a championship. League sources told at NBA on TV and the Bleacher Report. According to Chris Haynes again, the issue was not about the money or the extension, and now it said that he wasn't going to stay even if he was offered a full max contract. So again, that was Chris Haynes with Yahoo Sports who reported that technically the Nets supposedly offered him. The only way that he was going to give him a deal was to tie it to somehow winning a championship. I've never heard anything like that offered before in a contract to a player ever. That's probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And if I was Irving's camp, I would have said thanks, but no thanks as well at that point. I mean, I've done all that I could do. Requirements. You know, I was going to be wanting a full max contract, but then to tie that in, I just think that was a way the Brooklyn Nets knew that he was going to be out of there. I think they just put that in there just to speed the process up. In my opinion. So, and another thing I was just reading on ESPN.com, Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison has a history with Irving, going back to their Nike days together, and so that kind of probably really made it really come through because of Irving's relationship with the Mavs general manager Nico Harrison. And again, Dallas head coach Jason Kidd, according to this report, was a big proponent for the trade, as well as Luka Doncic. Yep. So now, can they sign Irving to an extension? Because again, when the season's over, he's an unrestricted free agent. Will the Mavs offer him a max deal, or will he walk? You know. So again, here's what Irving is seeking. He's seeking in the neighborhood of a 4-year, $198.5 million extension, and that would be available to him, that is Irving, until June 30th. That's what sources said. He is also eligible to sign a 2-year, $83 million extension with the Mavericks until June 30th. So he got two options on the table until June 30th. He could get a 4-year maximum extension, $198.5 million, if the Mavericks chose to go that route, or he is also eligible to sign a 2-year, $83 million extension with the Mavericks until June 30th. Now, you know, the other part of Kyrie, you know, he hasn't played a whole lot. He's been injured. The last couple of years he's been in Brooklyn. Obviously, the big thing was the anti-vax. You know, his stance on that, not taking the COVID shot, and so he was only playing half a season last year. But he's still a max level player. I mean, he still can play. You know, he's still a guy that can help a team at the end of the day. He's averaging just over 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game this season. So he's been really efficient. He's been efficient. He's been an efficient player all his NBA career anyway. So again, breaking news coming out of the NBA before the Thursday trade deadline. So again, the Thursday trade the deadline for the NBA trading is this Thursday, and the Mavericks and Nets were able to get something done before Thursday. Again, the Nets are trading Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris to the Mavericks. The Nets will receive from the Mavs Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks. So there you have it. We're getting close to the NBA All-Star break as well. So we'll see what happens. These teams are trying to transition and make a run, and we'll see what goes from there. So I'd like to know what you guys think. You watch this later. Put your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think on this trade. Who wins it? Who got the better of the deal? Nets or the Mavs? Was this a good move for the Mavs? Was this a good move to bring Kyrie Irving? He has a lot of what someone would call he could be a distraction. Depends on who you talk to. Is he a distraction or not? It depends on who you talk to. I know I saw some sound with some of the Nets players from yesterday, and they all were, they all were pro Kyrie. You know, uh, they seem to, they say at the end of the day, we still got to come out here and perform at a high level. We professionals. He's a grown man, and he does, he has to make a decision for himself at the end of the day. So we'll see. I know Nets head coach Jacques Vaughn, he seemed to be a little disappointed, in my opinion, the soundbite that I watched. He seemed to be a little disappointed in Irving requesting the trade because I thought they had developed chemistry, and then with Jacques Vaughn, you just good to see a young brother getting a chance to be a head coach, and you want to be able to have some firepower that can help you in your first head coaching gig, not losing Kyrie Irving. That's definitely gonna hurt the Nets. But I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie he's a pretty solid player. The Nets know what they're getting with him. He's played for that franchise before. Dorian Finney-Smith is a he's a decent player, solid. Nothing's flashy about him, but he can defend, and he can get you 8 to 10 points, 5 rebounds a game. And the Nets still got to figure out what they're gonna do with Ben Simmons. Are you gonna try to, are you gonna move forward with him? And now, what about Kevin Durant? I wonder how, Kevin Durant. Reason why he ended up leaving Golden State to come to the Nets was really because of Kyrie Irving. And now Kyrie Irving is a Maverick. So we're gonna keep it locked. We're gonna definitely keep our eye on this. This is the developing story. This is just the beginning. So again, if you didn't know, breaking news: Brooklyn Nets have traded or are going to trade Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and some first round 2029 first round pick and multiple second round picks as well. And Markieff Morris again is going to the Mavericks in that deal as well. So I'd like to know what you guys think. I just want to jump on here, do that real quick. Make sure if you watch this later, drop a comment. Let me know Nets, Mavericks, who you think who got the best of this deal. What do you think about Kyrie Irving? Do you think he's going to sign an extension to stay in Dallas, or is this just a stepping stone? Will he end up in LA? I'd like to know what you guys think. Make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. So you guys get back to your regularly scheduled programming. I'm Kendrick, the sports guy for TFG Sports Media. This has been a TFG Sports Media breaking sports news report. You all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll see you on the other side. I'm out. Deuces.